Hi readers, let's get started with guided reading. Before we begin, check your learning body. Make sure you're sitting up straight, your eyes are on the screen, and your ears are listening. Let's begin. Our goal for guided reading today is to think about which items of clothing keep you warm. As we read our story today, think about which items of clothing keep you warm. As I read the story, your eyes should be on the screen and your ears should be listening. You should point to each word as I say it. Let's begin. Remember, our job for reading today is to think about which items of clothing keep you warm. Which of these helps keep you warm? I see pictures of lots of different items of clothing. I'm thinking about the ones that will help keep me warm when it's cold outside. You can pause the video here to take a good look at all of the choices, and then we'll move on to picking some together. Okay, so I'm thinking about which of these helps keep you warm. Which items of clothing will keep me warm? My first choice is a sweater. I like wearing sweaters on cold days. I know they keep me warm. Another choice is a hat. I like wearing hats on cold days. I know that they help keep my head and ears warm. Another choice is a scarf. A scarf helps keep my neck warm on a cold day. A scarf keeps me warm. You can keep choosing other items, but we're going to move on to read the story. Remember, eyes on the screen, ears listening. You can point to each word as I read it. We are reading to find out which item the child wears in the story. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. I'll put on my sweater. It's cold outside. I'll put on my coat. It's cold outside. I'll put on my hat. It's cold outside. I'll put on my scarf. It's cold outside. I'll put on my gloves. Nice job following along. It's cold outside. I'll put on my boots. It's cold outside. It's warm in here. We read our story. As we were reading, we should have been thinking about which items of clothing will help keep you warm. Which of these items did the child wear? Let's look at the pictures to see which items we remember from the story. Which ones did she wear? Scarf, sneakers, gloves, swimsuit, shorts, rain jacket, sweater, boots, hat, and coat. Which of these items did the child wear? You can pause here to look over the items and then we'll go over them. So in the story, I remember that the child put on a scarf. The child wore a scarf to keep her warm. Another item I remember her putting on were gloves. The child wore gloves to keep her warm. Another item was a sweater. The child wore a sweater to keep her warm. I see more items that the child wore. Let's keep going. Boots. The child wore boots to keep her warm. The child wore a coat to keep her warm. And a hat. The child wore a hat to keep her warm. Nice job participating in guided reading today.